Opus 4.7 sucks. I am really disappointed. I'll tell you what. I was super excited when Opus 4. Oh, hold on a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. What's up? My name is Jordan. Thanks for joining. Hey, if this is your first time watching the video with me, click subscribe, hit the like button. I want to connect with you. And what I'm going to talk about in this meeting, just so we can go, obviously, I want to talk about Opus 4.7 and just this tragic situation that's going on right now. I want to tell you about where I think AI is going, and then I'm going to tell you about how I'm using AI. It has been a minute since I've put a video up, but here I am. What a crazy time this has been flying all over the place. But okay, let's get into this because I really want to talk about this, man. It's got my mind like totally I'm just confused. Like, and you can already tell from the beginning of the video, like I can't even get my thoughts together. This is just crazy. So what is going on with Anthropic? What is going on? Okay, I'm really starting to get frustrated. And this is just not like a dunk on Anthropic video because I'm going to tell you, like, I love Anthropic. I think Claude Code is absolutely incredible. It is the best way to code right now with AI. It's absolutely incredible. Well, I don't know about that anymore, but it was the best way to code with AI. I think it's an incredible product. I love Anthropic. I have multiple 20x max accounts. I hit limits all the time, even before the whole rate limiting craziness that they had going on. I was hitting limits. I was building products like crazy. We are using it for our business every single day. Our business is betting on Anthropic to come together and figure this stuff out. But in comes Opus 4.7. Super excited to hear about the model. Really excited to see what's going on. I personally, everything that I've seen, I could be completely wrong. I don't think this is an upgraded Opus 4.6. I think this is a distilled Mythos, really. That's what I think this is I think that this is just giving us a taste of what Mythos is. But here's what's super, super confusing. The moment that Opus 4.7 became available, I mean, immediately, I was already using it. I was already testing it. I put it into my workflows right away, and I was extremely, extremely disappointed. I mean, this model, it was not responding anything like what Opus 4.6 was responding. It required me to provide so much direction on what I wanted it to do. It was stopping. It would call 10 tools in a row and then it would just completely stop. I mean, it's so frustrating to me. And what's crazy is when you look at the benchmarks of this model, the model performs extremely, extremely well in benchmarks. When I saw these benchmarks, I was excited to throw this right on my code base. I mean, seriously, like looking at this for a minute, Sweetbench Verified, 87.6%. That is a huge, huge jump. 4.6 is 80.8. So from 80.8% to 87.6% on Sweetbench Verified, that is a major, major improvement. That is not an incremental improvement in coding. That is a major improvement in coding. So if the model does that, I mean, look at this. Sweetbench Pro, 64.3%, right? Cursor Bench, 70%. I mean, from 58% to 70%. This is orders of magnitude better. This is not just a small incremental change, it's a big change. So why is the model performing so poorly? Well, I think I have the answer to that, and it is so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Think about Mythos for just a moment. They have what they're claiming to be the smartest AI model, the smartest LLM in the world, but you are not allowed to access it. Why? Because it's too dangerous, right? It's too dangerous. So what are they doing as a result of that, okay? One of the things that they're doing is they are limiting the access to you, to the public, because it's so dangerous. What I think they're doing with Opus 4.7 is I think they are so afraid of this 87.6% score that they are afraid that this thing is going to become a huge security vulnerability. So what they've done is they have limited its ability to actually perform functional tasks. That's what I think is going on. In fact, I think that there's a real possibility that this is way more about the harness than it is about the model. And that is what's most disappointing with this situation with Anthropic to me. Okay, so I want to kind of talk about what this is real quick. If you don't know much about AI, I'm gonna just talk about something that people who don't know about AI would appreciate. But if you know everything about AI, you can skip forward in the video. So you have to understand that you have the model, you have the actual LLM, and with that actual model, that actual LLM, think about that as the brain, right? That's what's actually doing all of the thinking or the processing, so to speak, the generating of the tokens. But then you have the harness. The harness is like the body. The harness is what's actually giving it the tools that it needs in order to functionally perform and do a task, right? I've used this example before. A lot of people know GPT. ChatGPT, you use ChatGPT, we say it like Xerox, right? If you want to make a copy, you just say it's a Xerox machine. It's the same concept, ChatGPT. People think that ChatGPT is all that AI is. So ChatGPT can write an email for you, but you have to tell it what the email is about. It's got to go in, it's not going to send the email. It really becomes a frustrating point. So to that point, the body or the harness that is calling the LLM is super, super important in the functionality of the AI for it to actually be productive for you. Okay, so here's what I think is going on. I think that they have effectively lobotomized Opus 4.7 with Claude Code in the actual system prompt. I think they went in and they changed the system prompt of Claude Code, thinking that they were going to make Opus 4.7 safer for people to use. And the problem is they've taken so much capability out of the model. Regardless of what the pure benchmarks say, the model itself, it's so cautious that it is becoming totally unproductive. I mean, I'll give you another example. There's always this balance of like, how much do you want AI to do for you? How much do you want to tell the AI what you want it to do and expect it to do exactly what you're telling it to do? This is kind of complicated, and I understand that there's a balance between the two. Used to be, I could tell Opus 4.6, hey, I want to do this, and it would get the idea. It would create this feature within the software, and then it would have the button, and when you click the button would work. But now with Opus 4.7, if you don't tell it that you need the button to work, it's like it doesn't know that the button needs to work, or maybe worse than that, it knows that the button needs to work, but because you didn't tell it, it doesn't want to do anything that you didn't tell it to do, so it's not going to just do it. That is super, super frustrating. That's like having an employee where you have to just like helicopter mom them the entire time. And I've had the opportunity of working with a lot of different people. I've had employees like that before that if you don't tell them every single set of the ways, like, I need you to think for yourself a little bit. I need you to help me. I need you to be proactive. I need you to be productive. That is what I appreciate about with AI. Now, I don't want it to just go off and completely change my code base, but I want it to actually be useful and I want it to be productive. And with Opus 4.7, I think they are so concerned about this thing and they're so concerned about keeping this thing safe that it will literally not do anything unless you tell it to do it. And it's like, at that point in time, you might as well be writing code. Now, I'm probably being a little bit extreme, but I have not been impressed. I have really not been impressed, and it's so disappointing because I am the biggest Anthropic supporter. I love what they're doing. And now, I mean, seriously, I've been using Codex. I've been using Codex with GPT 5.4. Way better results. Way better results with Codex and GPT 5.4 than Opus 4.7. And Opus 4.7 performs way better on benchmarks. So to me, this is a problem. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about this Anthropic issue because I think that you can kind of see the direction that this is going and what's going on. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. You have one of the most powerful tech companies in the world, arguably maybe the best AI company in the world, but you have one of the most powerful tech companies in the world, and they want to compete with OpenClaw? Why? Okay, so OpenClaw, it's an incredible system, super dangerous, but it's an incredible system, open source, it's free. Like, why Anthropic? It's like all of a sudden, okay, what do? They go in, they ban OpenClaw users, right? And I understand if they're going to ban OpenClaw users because it's chewing up too many tokens, and okay, I get that argument. But then they turn around and they put the same capability into Claude Code, into Cowork. So it's still chewing up tokens. So it's not just that. It's like they're banning OpenClaw because they don't want OpenClaw competing with what? Their version of OpenClaw? Why is Anthropic focusing on? I just don't understand. Why are they trying to be the everything app? I think the everything app is awesome. That's what AIO is all about. It's all in one. But why? I just don't see it. I don't see it making sense for Anthropic to go that direction. I think that they're hurting people that are using their services. I think about my company and AIO and this incredible product that we're building with AIO. I don't want to compete with Anthropic. Why is Anthropic trying to compete with me? I don't understand the angle here. And the problem is they're shipping these new versions of Claude Code and they're shipping these new versions of Cowork, and some of it is cool, but a lot of it's not working. A lot of it, and listen, I get it. It's difficult. I look at our product. There's bugs in our product, but come on, it's Anthropic. They're shipping. They had the best coding agent in the world with the best LLMs in the world, and they're shipping garbage so that they can compete with OpenClaw. I just don't get it, man. It doesn't make sense to me. I want to know what you think about it. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think about what's going on. Maybe you've had a great experience with Opus 4.7. Maybe you can give me tips on how to use it better. I'd love to see it. Let me know in the comments, what has your experience been with Opus 4.7, because I have not been impressed. Now, a couple things I'm excited about. I'm excited about GPT 5.5. They're calling it SPUD. Really interested to see what's going to happen with that. Especially if it performs the way 5.4 is performing in Codex. I'd really like to see what they're going to do. And I think that Anthropic really needs to focus on what they're good at and drive that home, because I think the direction that they're going with this is really going to be a problem. And when OpenAI comes out with SPUD 5.5, there's a really good chance that it's going to perform just as well on the benchmarks as Opus 4.7, but maybe it'll actually work. Like, that's something that should concern Anthropic. I think the real company to pay attention to, and I've said this from the very beginning, is xAI. Like, I am excited to see what is going to happen with Grok. Grok right now, xAI is positioned, and I know now it's owned by X, like, they are positioned right now to have and create the greatest LLM in the world. And I say that like the next newest model is always the greatest one. No, I'm talking about, like, I think that they can win the AI race. I think that they have access to the hardware to do it. They have the plan to do it. They're talking about putting data centers in orbit in order to be able to perform this. And they have the assembly line to be able to do it. They have the launch provider to be able to do it. This is a real thing that they can do. And the thing about Grok 2 is, like, okay, Grok is not very good at coding. I want to put that out there right now. I've been a little bit disappointed in Grok's ability to code, but they're, like, quietly releasing new models, new information that you don't even know about. Right now, they've quietly released Grok 4.3, and from what I have seen from Grok 4.3 already, it is insane. It is insane what it can do, and I that excites me. I would love to see them really lean into coding a little bit more to see what they're going to do, because I think Grok is going to be the future. I think Grok is positioned to outpace every single AI company in the world. I'm just ready for them to get caught up in that particular area of coding. Let me know what you think. If you've ever used Grok, what do you use it for? Have you seen Grok 4.3? I know it's available on their $300 a month plan. You can get in and you can actually have early access to Grok 4.3. Go in there and check it out. I'm really interested to see what you think about Grok. Now, going in from there, I want to take a minute and I want to show you a little bit of what we have been working on, because the thing about AI, and we're seeing this shift happening in AI. So in the very beginning, AI, it was pretty gimmicky, and it was about it can write something for you, or it can create an email for you, or whatever it can do. It's kind of cool, it's kind of gimmicky, but then we transition into this idea of agentic tool calling, which is really exciting for a lot of different reasons, and it's making the AI way more productive and way more helpful for you. But I think that we're really transitioning into a new season right now, and it's all about the harness. I talked about this in the last video, but it's about using the AI as an organization to create systems to function as a complete organization. What I mean by that is I'm talking about using AI like employees that are all working together to actually perform a particular task, and the actual the productivity side of it, but not only how productive can it be, but how proactive can it be? How good can it get at predicting what you want it to do and then going in and doing it for you? I think that this is really the future of where AI is going, and this is like the smallest percentage. I think Dan Martell said it the other day. I think maybe 0.5% of people that are currently using AI are using it in this way. And this is what I see as the future of AI. And this is the products that we have been building. So I want to show really briefly two products to you today. One of them is AIO Assist. You can download AIO Assist. You can use it for free at aioassist.ai. So aioassist.ai. I'm going to put it down in the comments. You can go in there and you can actually click on that. You can download it. You can use it for free for a period of time and check it out. But the idea with AIO Assist is this is kind of what we have been working on in the sense of this OpenClaw style, get AI to actually go in and do the work for you. That's what I want to show you here for just a minute, what we've got going on. There's a couple of unique things about AIO Assist that I want to share with you. So one of the cool things about AIO Assist is that It is super easy to use. It is set up for anybody to use, and you can see the interface here. It's super clean, super simple. This is the command center, but it's a really nice interface, really easy system for you to use, no matter what you do. So any form of work that you do, not just coding. But the cool thing about it is it actually has the dev suite, which in the dev suite, you can go in and you can access. It's like a full IDE within AIO Assist, but it's got every single thing that you would need to completely deploy a product. So you can plan the product, you can go in, you can do the actual code with a code editor, you can access your database, you can check into your database and see what's going on, you can run deploys directly from the system, you don't have to use GitHub Actions, you can run deploy. I was watching another guy, and awesome YouTuber, love his videos, super awesome. I was watching him the other day and he's talking about how he's using Vercel to deploy and how he got this massive bill. Why are we using these platforms to deploy? Your machine that you're using is more than capable of running these builds and running these deploys. Use your own machine to do it. That's what AIO Assist is about when it comes to deploy. It can do that. You can access your servers, you can check out your environments, and you can manage Git and all that from the system. But what excites me about this particular platform, even more than that, is what we're doing over here on the Command Center side. So with Command Center, what we've done is we have this Kanban board, which is the tasks. These are the tasks that the orchestrator on the right side is actually performing and doing. What is it currently working on? What does it need to do? What's in progress and what's done? You can set up automations so that it can go in and it can retrigger new tasks. You can set up these automations to give you things like what's going on with my day, what's happening. You can set these up whenever you want. You can attach these automations to particular working threads in order to keep them going. Now, if we go over to Heartbeat, this is a really cool system that we have built. We've been working on this for a long time. Of course, OpenClaw came out and they did this. They've done a great job with it. But what we've done here we think is a little bit different with Heartbeat. You can go in and you can set the heartbeat based on a timer. So every so often it's going to run based on messages. So how many messages you send is when it's going to retrigger the heartbeat. There's a couple different parameters that will trigger the heartbeat. But what's going to happen here is as you're talking to it, you can jump into our collab module. You can turn that on. It's going to sit here and it's going to listen to you as you talk. You don't have to talk to it. It's not about, you're not just telling it what to do and it's doing it. You are just talking. And as you're talking, it's learning what you're doing. It's learning what you're talking about. It's learning your personality. It's learning who you are. And it's taking all of that data as well as all of your orchestrator chats, all of your worker chats, and it's putting that into one prompt of how can it be productive and how can it help you. And that is all collected in the heartbeat. The other cool thing that it can do is you can go in and you can assign a particular automation on a date on a calendar. And so it can actually have that context and know what's going on. So for me, I've got church on Saturday nights coming up now at 6. So there's a lot that I have to do to be ready for church. It knows that that's coming. So as Heartbeat runs, it knows that it's coming and it can actually go in and begin doing those tasks for me right here based on what that date is and what's going to happen here. So we can set up the trigger and we can run it to the orchestrator. Now, I want to show you for just a moment here at the end what makes this different and where I think the future of AI is going. And I think that is utilizing threads. So there's been a lot of different ways, how do we maintain context? How do we, how do we set this up? How do we set up agentic workflows? A lot of people are doing this where they have their own AI agent and it's got, it's got this particular system prompt and then one agent tells the other agent what to do and then it does it, reports back to it. So, but this is just a little bit different than that. So what we have is we have the main orchestrator thread. So this is on the right side. This is the main chat that you're going to be talking to. And what it has the ability to do is it can actually kick off or start a new thread. The new thread has the exact same capabilities as the orchestrator thread, but the new thread is able to kick off and that thread can be assigned either to the main workspace or it can be assigned to a particular project that you're working on. So let's say as a developer, you're working on 5 projects at a time. Each thread can be assigned to a particular project. So you can see that happen here. AIO platform is a specific thread. Here's another client project that we're working on right here. So these threads can be assigned to a particular project so that it knows what domain it can work with. Now, what happens is it sends it out to that thread. That thread is working on that particular part of the software, that particular feature, that particular function, and therefore it's able to better maintain context of what's going on. It can kick off as many threads as you want. So what our orchestrator can do, every thread is like having a different employee that is specialized in one particular task. And the cool thing about this is the orchestrator can go in and it can create as many threads as it wants to in order to best perform whatever topic or whatever task you're giving it. And then it can actually go in and reuse those same threads so long as the topic is relevant to what it was going on before. And we've seen this massively, massively improve the productivity of our development projects. The other cool thing about threads is that we have skills, and you can write skills and create skills, but the orchestrator can actually write those skills as well. And then once you have those skills, it can assign those skills to a particular thread. So what that means is not only are you able to hire a new employee that specializes in a particular area or has a particular contextual understanding of one spot within your project, but you can actually assign a skill to that employee. So you can think about like train that employee, give that information, and even that employee can also call additional skills as needed in order to improve its ability to continue. So this is how I think that the future of AI is going to be. It's less about having this complete self-sustained, AI agent where you have a main agent, go tell this agent what to do and it does it. But instead you have these different threads or these different thought processes of your main agent that it can go in and access the context of moving forward. With that being said, I want to show you one more thing, because this is a harness. And one thing that's very, very cool about AIO Assist and why I think AIO Assist is the best way to code with AI right now is that we do have support for multiple providers. We have Ray, which is our own coding agent that we have now released. Would love to know what you guys think about it. But we have Claude, we have Codex, we have Gemini. The cool thing about this, and this is different than Cursor, this is different than Windsurf, is that when you choose Claude as your provider, you are actually using Claude Code CLI. So it's not our coding agent that you are using. When you choose Claude, you're getting to use their harness that they created. Now, hopefully they go back and they fix that harness so that it works the way it's supposed to, but you're actually using their harness. When you choose Codex as your provider, it's actually using the Codex CLI, so you're getting to use their real harness within the platform of AIO Assist. It makes it way, way more powerful, and it allows you to use the actual harnesses that were built for those particular LLMs. So that's one thing that makes AIO Assist unique. Now, from a harness standpoint, the idea of the harness is give the AI as much tools as possible in order for it to be productive for you in the safest way possible. So OpenClaw, for example, might be really good for your business because of all the cool things that it can do, but because of it being indeterministic, and also running a terminal, it can create some issues within your business. So what we have done is we have created the AIO platform, which is a server-based platform, and I want to show you just a little bit of that right now and what you can do. So in this case, we're running in a staging mode. We got this little bug we're going to work out, but I want to show you the same concept. We've brought this AIO Assist concept into the platform, and the cool thing about this is whether you're running a business or you have a church or whatever it is, this is unique to your particular business. And we have all of these different, you can think of them as like skills, all of these different capabilities that the AI has access to, from calendar to people, leads, communications, next gen when it comes to church, scheduler, meetings, productivity. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about what is actually built into this platform. But you have the same orchestrator concept. And then you have this idea of the threads that can operate within your business. And so what this does, this gives that AIO Assist style, extremely productive, extremely proactive, and helpful system its own sandbox that it can work in, where it has all of the context of your business. So it has all of your business's financial information. Doesn't mean that it can go into your bank accounts and make changes, but it has access to the financial data. It has access to all of your leads and contacts, whatever information you want to give it, including all of your cloud storage, so that it's able to go in and actually be helpful and be productive for you. So that's what we've got going on right now with the AIO platform. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for checking it out. Hit the subscribe button, click like, let me know what you think. I'm excited to come in and tell you more about what we've got going on with AI. Don't forget, go check out AIO Assist. I'll see you in the next video.